Disappointed with where you are in the football season. You have to really search for some things that are positive. And looking at that game yesterday, I understand we lost, and we haven't won a game in 4. I understand all that, but to be down 27-7 and to come back, period of time in the second half, where we got ourselves in position to take the lead, that said an awful lot. So we're going to hopefully build on that. To get ourselves in that position, though, we didn't start fast. The interception on the offensive side of the ball, and but still getting them in a 3rd and long defensively and jumping outside, and then having a 3rd and short and giving up a touchdown pass. That put us on our heels right away, and we didn't handle the first quarter the way we need to. But there are some positive things. We've talked a lot about Damon Pierce. For him to have that type of game, breakout game, we've been waiting for that. And for that to happen, of course, offensive line and everybody responsible for blocking has to do their job. And it was good for him to show that last part of his game, breakaway speed. Thought passing game-wise, that we had our moments. Getting the ball to, of course, we got Brandon Cooks a lot more involved. Nico Collins, of course, made plays, and to be able to get our tight ends in the game and get them action. But still wasn't enough. And defensively, that was our worst game we played of the season defensively. I don't think we'd given up over 20 points before that game, and 23, I guess. But we weren't at, 3rd down conversions. We didn't take the ball away. Explosive plays. Just wasn't a good day for us defensively. You can't win games if you play that type of defense, and we don't plan on, that happening again. And special teams, I thought for the most part we did some good things special team-wise. That takeaway late, that caused fumble, gave us momentum to give us some chance. Injury-wise, we had a few like you have normally, but injuries are part of it. This time of the season, you can start getting guys back. We'll talk on that a little bit later on in the week. Take your question.
Coach, speaking of some positives, what did you see when you went back and you watched the film on when Davis led that touchdown drive to Brandon?
Well, I saw some positive throughout it. As I say, we're down 27-7, and we, stacked a couple good drives together and had an opportunity on that next one. What did I see from him? Him in the pocket, poised, standing up strong, making the plays. So we had our opportunities. And again, it's hard. It gets lost a little bit when you lose, but that's how it went.
When you look at the defensive issues, do you attribute it mostly to communication breakdowns, or are you at a point where you might want to look at some other players, give some other guys a chance?
We've tried. We evaluate as far as personnel each time we play. And that evaluation is always going. And you can always plug somebody and give them maybe someone a little less, someone a little bit more. It was more than just personnel. There were some communication breakdowns. We had a couple wide open guys, some things like that. That shouldn't happen in those situations. That really hurt us. So yes.
What's your overall philosophy on how to handle pre-snap motions when you're trying to do different coverages and such? Because it seems like even the run game I think they move Desmond King one side and then you have to protect the other. How do you kind of face that with teams that don't?
We have basic adjustments that everybody in the league has. It's no different than that. They move a guy, you move a guy. Pretty simple. Throughout. Do you have to adjust every time motion happens? Yes, like everybody else. We do it the same way without going over everything. You have different adjustments you use for different coverages and different defenses that you use. It has nothing to do with some of the things that we're screwing up on right now.
Is there, a couple last questions. Is there an execution part of that needs to improve?
Absolutely. Most of the time there's something going wrong. It's about execution. Everything we do is sound, so it is execution.
Offensively, you guys obviously had a really good third quarter there, led by Davis. What did you feel like you all did a lot better there in that portion of the game than you had probably not done previous games?
I just think it's, I think you can just say one thing. You know, when things are going well, first it starts up front, protection. Protection was good there. We play-wise, I mean, we had a little success running and passing the ball, just running our offense the correct way. Normally, that's what, you know, when you see positive things happening, special teams, offensive, defense, that's pretty much what it is. In all three phases, as we talk about them, there are moments when it has a look that's right. And that's how eventually we want to be able to do that, just be consistently good doing those things. I mean, that's what's happening right now. That consistency that we're looking for hasn't always been there. In critical moments, I might say.
With the offensive line, it seems like for the most part y'all have had good protection, but y'all have like an untimely either communication breakdown or a penalty. What is it about some of those key moments that you feel like where it seems like y'all play well throughout, but some of those key moments y'all?
I think once we solve those, Brandon, once we get those solved, then we'll see that win in the win column. But you know, it's consistently good. I mean, that's it. Just consistency throughout is what we haven't had. And the reasons for that, concentration, discipline, all the above, just not quite there yet. But at the same time, though, as you look at that football game, that's a good football team we played too. And we had an opportunity. All the things we talked about, fourth quarter, we had the ball to take the lead. So I know we've talked close an awful lot, but that's reality. Fourth quarter with the ball to take a lead based on everything else that happened. So that's why the guys, we all should be anxious to get back into the AFC South playing ball with another opportunity that's in front of us. Things are happening for the most part. We see improvement. You know, except for what we did defensively, we've seen improvements with everything that we've been doing.
Yesterday you mentioned that it's not all on the quarterback, but when you look at how Davis Mills is playing, what happens to the point where there's a conversation to make a change there, and has there been discussion about?
We're not making a change at the We're not making a change at the quarterback position. The things we've talked about is with Davis leading us, and whatever Davis and everyone, coaches, what we all need to do better. Did I just tell you we're in the fourth quarter with, you know who our quarterback was that led us in position to take the lead there at the end? Davis Mills. He's our quarterback.
Lovie, you mentioned the eligibility that you can bring guys up into those decisions made later. Does the bye week presence, does that make a factor? Because a guy, if he had a ramp up period, let's say this week, well, next week he'd feel even better, and maybe the guy's a better outcome.
We definitely take all of that into consideration. But a lot, you know, on some of the guys coming back from IR, there's a period of time before they could come back. That's not to say that they're not ready to go right now or they haven't been ready. So, yes, we take all that into consideration. But if we think it would help a guy to take a few more weeks off, but if they're ready to go, we're going to go with it. But, yes, we do take that into consideration. We understand when our bye is coming up.
Coach, what do you need to see from Damian Pierce to have him on the field in some higher leverage situations later in games?
Late in the games, you're talking about the fourth down play? Yes. That late? Well, Damon has been in the game for the most. We're going to play more than one running back. Some plays he's not going to be out there. So happened a few of the plays have been big plays, and we didn't handle those right. But Damon on that fourth down play that you're alluding to had nothing to do with the tailback there. We busted an assignment on the line of scrimmage to have a guy go free. As I said on that play yesterday, that was a pass play that the quarterback could possibly even keep the ball on. It had nothing to do with their tailback on that moment right there. I think right now, what you say, I think we got Damon involved enough for him to have an impact on the game yesterday. Would you say that? I would.
Well, Coach, you said
on that play, though,
the plan was to have Khalil Mack blocked on that play, right?
That's what I said. It was a breakdown and a blocking assignment on that play to leave Khalil free on that play. Yes.
Coach, you talked about how you were in position with Davis Mills in the fourth quarter to be able to take the lead. But do you think that some of his miscues in the first half also put you all behind?
I think yes. to answer your question, is yes. And offensive line, most of the offense, yes. All of the defense, yes. And some of the special team, all of it. Our coaching went up to par and stuff on that to get us in that position, yes. All the above, just not the one guy. And in the end, on how we got back, the ball kind of started with him. Yes.
What happened at the end of the game, Coach, when y'all looked like y'all were going to kneel it down the end, and then y'all ended up handing the ball off?
Game was over at the end of the game. In the end, we decided to just get out of it and go from there.
Last week when you were talking about the injured reserve, you mentioned that part of the analysis would be who could help you win games. I mean, have you looked at what your biggest needs right now are, and is it a situation where some people are healthy and you make that decision? What goes into that for this week?
On whether we bring somebody back, I mean, pretty simple. All right, are you healthy and you're ready to go? We think you can help us win. We're going to go with it. It's kind of simple as that, really. Like right now, the guys that we went with, in every situation, we're going with the best person that we think can help us do the job right then. And as you add guys to that mix, we start evaluating them. Most of the guys that we're talking about coming back from the list have contributed to us, and a lot of them are kind of our guys. And as soon as we think that they're physically ready to go, we're going to try to get them into the mix as soon as possible. But that doesn't mean, some of the guys haven't played. Kristen Harris has never played for us. And some like Tavier Thomas, Mario Addison, some of them, they're kind of in different phases for us, what they've done for us. We'll take all that into consideration.
What does it mean to you to have a young rookie like Kenyon Green on yesterday? He took a lot of responsibility for some of the things that happened with the miscommunications, but to have him at such a young age be able to recognize that.
Well, I think, first off, he's a special man, and he's going to be an outstanding player, but he gets it. And I would like to think that all of us, based on what has happened around here, all 4 games and yesterday were saying, hey, I need to do a better job. So that doesn't surprise me. And that's what I think he's seen from the guys that have been around here a while. When things don't go well, we all have a say in that. Just like when we start winning, I hope that all those guys acknowledge what they've done to help us win too.
Lovie, you said at the start, it was your worst game defensively. What are some keys to fixing the different things that you see wrong?
When we say fixing, I don't think we play really bad defense like that. The points have been down. We've kind of taken the ball away. We've been pretty good on third downs. We haven't played the run as well as we needed to. But yesterday it was different. Critical moments, we had a few breakdowns, but we just didn't make some plays that we had an opportunity to. We had an interception early in the game. We had a chance that could have, given us momentum going a different way. Some of the runs we had, and there was a 3rd and 1 where we missed a tackle in the backfield. There are some things, critical moments like that. Eventually, we're going to stand up and make plays during that time. We didn't do that. And then it came down to there's one drive. In the second half, the first 3, we played good ball, good defensive football. I think the first 3 drives of the second half. But the one drive where we needed to make a play, we let them convert on 4th down, able to go down and score on that one. So they're all things, of course, that we can point out, and we all kind of know what happened a little bit. But these things that can be corrected.
Through the first 4 games, there's been opportunity for you guys to win. Obviously, Sunday, obviously, through the first 3 weeks, but you guys haven't been able to pull it through. So how frustrating is it to be in those situations and still have yet to win? You guys are the only winners team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, well, it's frustrating. That's on record. We own that. But as I see it, and if it was the end of the season, it would really be tough. We ain't able to get. But as I see it right now, we've been in every game. We had an opportunity. So glass half full, that's what you're looking at. Opportunities right up until, in different ways. A team has to go through a lot of things. We've had a lead, and yesterday having to come from behind against a good opponent to see we're learning things about ourselves. I understand NFL is not forever, all right? But I think we're close enough where we can get over the hump just based on all of the things that we saw. And there were a lot of good things that we saw. We talked about getting the running game going. We'll get the defense where they need to be. But a lot of the things that we have seen, positive things, are going to get us over the hump.
On the 4th and 2 play that Herbert and Eckler converted, was that a matter of the safety or the linebacker?
You can figure that. We didn't communicate it the right way. It's the same play. It's the same play that we missed on 4th down. Same play that they hit there at the end. One converted it on their 4th and 2. Our 4th and 1, different formation, same play. We just didn't play it the proper way.
I just couldn't tell who had Eckler.
I'm just telling you, we didn't play it the proper way with our coverage.
One other, just quickly, in regards to, it seems like teams are blitzing Davis Mills a lot more. In what ways does that make things difficult for your offense, or make you have to change things?
Well, I don't, but I thought we had our chances yesterday with that. All that they did, just look at our production offensively. Again, as I said, we ended up 24 points. They blitzed us yesterday. 24 points. We missed a field goal. 27. There are a couple other. If we just had given Davis a little bit more time, we could have. So I thought in the end, even though teams are blitzing, they're going to blitz us an awful lot. That's just a part of what we're going to deal with. But I thought, for the most part, we saw signs on what we can be with the passing game too.
Since yesterday, have there been any conversations with you and Pep about, you talked about the 4th and 1 with Rex and it being a pass and Damian Pierce, the usage between those and the tendencies defenses might have, seeing who's in?
Pep and I talk about everything always, but again, that had nothing to do with what happened. We have a plan that we feel good about the plan. We felt good about the plan with Rex being there on that down if we had to block the other guy. We felt good about that play then. So, and Rex has a purpose. He scored yesterday too, right? Were we supposed to have Damon in there then? It's okay to put Rex in there then.
Within short yardage situations, you'll use Damian Pierce more often. He's picked up more first downs.
I'm just saying when we have Rex out there is when we think we need to have Rex out there for what we have called in that situation. And I think if we had executed that play the proper way, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. Thank you.